Well, Sabbath greetings, brethren. I hope you've had a great week. It is with a heavy heart that I record this video here for this particular Sabbath greetings. Many of you may have heard by now, but if not, Dr. Meredith died. My understanding is he died peacefully last night, Thursday evening, in his sleep, and so. In one way, we're certainly saddened by this. I know that those of us in the Living Church of God appreciated Dr. Meredith so much for his willingness to stand in the gap, for his willingness to stand up for the truth, to pick up the baton, if you will, the baton that had been dropped, and he. Of course, we believe very firmly that he was chosen by God to lead the work in this modern time. Again, after all of the disruption in the Church of God that took place there in worldwide. So we were obviously, all of us were very grateful for his leadership, for his ability to unify, and he certainly was a tremendous leader. He was at least to those of us who were ordained in the Living Church of God. He's sort of a spiritual father, in the sense that we look to him for leadership. We look to him as an overall leader of the church, and I appreciated him so much. And I didn't get to spend as much time with Dr. Meredith as I would have liked to, but I really cherish the moments that I had with him, the times that I had with him when he visited the area, and when I had the opportunity to visit with him at headquarters. And those are very precious times that I'll always remember, because I just remember his kindness and just how zealous he was, and that zeal was infectious. And so I really appreciated his zeal, and certainly would love for the family to know that we're praying for them, and we are certainly hurting for them as well, because they've lost a patriarch. We've lost one in the church, they've lost one in their family, and so Dr. Meredith will certainly be missed. He's loved, he was loved, and he will be missed. But it always makes me think about 1 Thessalonians. I just can't help it. 1 Thessalonians chapter 4 and verse 13, "But I do not want you to be ignorant, brethren, concerning those who have fallen asleep, concerning those who have died, lest you sorrow as others who have no hope." So there will be sorrow. That's not what Paul is saying here. He's not saying that we won't have sorrow, but he's saying that we're not going to sorrow like those who have no hope. We'll miss Dr. Meredith, we'll miss his leadership, and he was a very, very very sharp in mind all the way until just, obviously just recently when he was in hospice care, and basically his body was just shutting down. But before that time, just very, very sharp and astute in so many different ways. He had a very discerning, just a sense of discernment that was actually quite unique, and very much hearken to that very special relationship that he had with God, that God could use him in that way and give him that special discernment. And of course here we know that now that baton has already been passed on. Dr. Meredith was certainly wise enough to make sure that the church would be ready for that eventuality, and for that certainly he knew that he was not going to live forever in the flesh. And so he knew that reality was going to come. And so Mr. Weston, now we're all here to hold up his arms, to serve under his leadership in the ministry, and then as the brethren, to support him and to support his leadership as the new presiding evangelist of the church. And I do probably know, certainly have a lot more time and a lot more history with Mr. Weston than I did with Dr. Meredith, but I know that Mr. Weston is a tremendous leader. He is a tremendous leader. He has that same sense of very special, astute discernment. He knows people, and he's very, very good in that way, and in many other ways in terms of administration, in terms of managing people and leading people. He has a tremendous gift and a tremendous ability in that way. So we can be very grateful that Dr. Meredith, under God's guidance and under his inspiration, that he has provided for the church a leader such as Mr. Weston. And again, the whole team out there at headquarters. Dr. Meredith made it very clear he wasn't doing all things by himself. He would always seek a multitude of counsel, and Mr. Weston has done that through the years as well, and that will continue on as the church goes forward. So it is very sad in one sense, because we know that Dr. Meredith will no longer be with us in a physical sense, but he has left a legacy that will continue on, because we have all those tremendous sermons and all of the tremendous articles and all that he's done for over 60 years in serving God's people. So we're still going to be benefiting from Dr. Meredith for years and years to come. He won't be with us physically, but we know that we'll see him again, as 1 Thessalonians 4 goes on to say in verse 14, "For if we believe that Jesus died and rose again, even so God will bring with him those who sleep in Jesus." So right now, they're just resting. They're in the grave. They're awaiting that call from the grave whenever Christ returns. And that's when they're going to rise again. When Jesus Christ returns to this earth. And those who are the dead in Christ, they're going to come up out of the grave, and they're going to meet Jesus Christ. And so we look forward to seeing Dr. Meredith again at the resurrection. But his family certainly, I know, would appreciate all the prayers of the brethren. So we need to be praying for them, and certainly pray for the work. Pray that we can go forward without any interruption, without any I don't know, discord in that sense. There shouldn't be. But we certainly want to pray for unity at this time, and pray for Mr. Weston. He's obviously has a big job, and now, of course, being officially in that position of being presiding evangelist, we certainly want to pray for him with all of our hearts, and pray for his wife Carol, and for everyone out at headquarters, and just pray that God will continue to strengthen his work, to strengthen his people, and to help us to preach the gospel, fulfill the commission that he's given us, and to go forward with that much more zeal, knowing that time is short. So I truly do hope you all had a great week. It was warming up here in the week, and now it's gotten kind of dreary out there today. I'm recording this here in the afternoon while I have some peace and quiet in the house, but it is still quite a distance here before we get to the Sabbath. But it's cooler out there today, but we had a great week here in Sussex. It's been a wonderful week. I hope you've had a great week. I hope it's been productive and profitable. And I also just hope and pray that you have a tremendous and an uplifting. Yes, we may have a little bit of sadness in terms of dealing with the death of someone that we all appreciate and admire so much, but we also want to rejoice in the fact that the Sabbath pictures a time when we know that Dr. Meredith will be serving, hopefully beside us, that he's going to be there. His race is won, but hopefully he'll be serving beside us as we continue on and persevere and have faith until the end. So I hope you have a tremendous Sabbath. I love you all very much. I look forward to a very special Sabbath here in Milwaukee with Spokesman's Club, and we'll have services in Spokesman's Club, and look forward to seeing you all then there in Milwaukee, and the rest of you we'll see in the weeks ahead. It won't be that much longer, and we are going to be enjoying the Feast of Pentecost in Janesville. So many of us, a lot more of us gathered together there for that opportunity, where we will be having a special guest speaker. Very, very grateful to have someone coming from headquarters, having a guest speaker. Mr. Dexter Wakefield will be here. We're looking forward to hearing from him and having the opportunity to have him here in the area. So I hope that you'll all be praying about that, and take care. Have a fantastic Sabbath, and we'll talk to you guys again really soon. Love you all. Take care. Have a great Sabbath.